Good morning. Unfortunately, there was really big rain, literally big rain in Japanese, in Nagoya and Gifu. So we couldn't get the train when we wanted to, so we were stuck in Nagoya. So we got some good coffee. What's it called?
Oh, what about it? Well, coffee shop?
Coffee shop. Anyway, eventually we could leave and we arrived in Takayama, our final destination. I was very excited to see it in the summer because I have only previously seen it in the winter and the snow was super deep. We got to stay in a very nice hotel with a onsen, and it was a lot cheaper than usual because of the virus. There's not as many tourists, and to be honest there probably wouldn't be so many at this time anyway because of the lack of snow, but I think they are suffering a little bit. So thanks for the cheapness. And glad we could support them in a tiny way. But Takayama seemed pretty safe. Everybody was wearing a mask, and I guess because there weren't so many people around, we were the only people on this bus, so I felt quite comfortable while we were there. There's many places you can get the bus to from Takayama City. We decided to go to a cave, which was about, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes away by bus. There are other places you can go to, but because of the rain and there had been some, I think, landslides or something kind of similar not too far away, this was really the only safest place we could go. I do think the buses were still going to Shirakawa-go, which is another really beautiful place nearby with old houses, but I had already seen it and I knew there was a place nearby with old houses, which we will show you later. So there were about 3 caves here, I think, and it was crazy cold, surprisingly cold inside. Should probably take a jacket or something if you're going in there, and even in the summer like we did. But yeah, it was really beautiful, and I was surprised to see so much greenery inside, like kind of mossy sort of plants, which I assume is from the weird lighting they've got going on. I'm kind of a cave enthusiast, is that the right way to say it? I'm not a big geek, I don't know too many facts about them, but the first time I went into the cave was in elementary school somewhere in Ohio, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I went with my cousins and my grandma for some reason, and I don't think my grandma liked it too much, but I was really into it. And then, unfortunately, the next time I would go to a cave was like 15 years later in England, in Buxton. I went to some caves and we had a private tour. It was super awesome. And then again, I went in Vietnam, somewhere near Hanoi. I forgot the name, but so now I've also been to caves in Japan, 4 countries, 4 different caves. They're all cold and dark, but cool. But I will say, in terms of health and safety, Japan is the craziest place. You think everything is so safe and so by the book, by the rules. But wow, after living in England, like, the health and safety here is a bit whack. That cave, like some of those stairs were scary. Slippery business, I guess. Then we went back to the city center. Clear mountain water. Sunny day after the big rain. So we got to this street where it's all not restored but preserved old buildings. It's like a historic district in Takayama, and there's lots of kind of traditional shops and things, like a sake brewery. There's this thing called Gohei mochi, which is super good. It has kind of like sweety miso-y sauce. It sounds a bit whack, but it's super delicious. So it's just worth walking around there for the old buildings, of course, which are beautiful, but also kind of some traditional and local goods. Then we went to the Hida Folk Sato village, which has some of these old thatched houses, which I super love. All of these are from somewhere else in Takayama or Gifu, and they were all put in this little village to preserve the old houses by the city. Otherwise they were going to be torn down for dams or something. There's a lot of beautiful nature, animals, trees, lots of spiders. There are also bees. There are signs to be careful of the bees. They had these kind of traditional toys as well, which we played with. I was super bad with the water gun and the stilts as well, to be fair. Tomo did a much better job, but he has had practice apparently in elementary school. So I really recommend this place because obviously there's the cool experience of seeing houses and these funny toys and the nature, but also, as you'll soon see, you can actually go inside of these old houses, unlike in Shirakawa, where you can just kind of look at them mostly. There is an omiyage or souvenir shop you can go in, but there's just souvenirs everywhere, so it's not really like the real thing. Whereas this one was sort of set up as like a museum. One room here, which you see, is a kind of like silk making, kimono making studio looking kind of place. And so they've got loads of old stuff and books with patterns and instructions how to make kimono from scratch. So that was super cool because obviously I'm into fashion, but I just super love old houses anyway. So to be able to go inside and see not only what they looked like, but kind of get an idea of how they worked was super great. tatami. Tatami hoshii na. So beautiful. That big sign there I read was basically about how TVs are the reason that all of these houses ended up dying or getting moved away, because people saw big cities on TV and fancier jobs, so they moved away from the country and left their houses behind. I'm not sure what I'm doing right there, but it was a weird position to get to this rope, so anyway, I rang the bell, made a big sound, kinda. Then there are two museums about old stuff in Takayama. One is the Showa Museum and another is called the Retro Ite Asobu Mite, whatever it's called, a museum, Retro Museum. If you search that, you'll find it. And that was super cool to see all the old electronics and toys and games and some clothes and movie posters. Super recommend Takayama. Lots of foreigners go there for skiing, I guess, because it's in the snowy mountains, but I recommend it for the views and food and peacefulness a bit and relaxing. Go there!